Welcome to ASP.NET Core Interview Questions and Key Concepts. ASP.NET Core is Microsoft's cross-platform web framework that revolutionizes how developers build modern web applications. It's designed for high performance, scalability, and flexibility across different operating systems including Windows, Linux, and macOS. As one of the most popular backend frameworks for enterprise applications, understanding ASP.NET Core is crucial for any developer looking to excel in Microsoft's ecosystem. ASP.NET Core is a cross-platform, high-performance web framework that enables developers to build modern, cloud-ready applications. The key features include cross-platform development capabilities, built-in dependency injection for better code organization, and a modular HTTP request pipeline for optimal performance. It also provides cloud-ready configuration management and exceptional scalability. The core components include the MVC pattern for structured development, Web API for creating RESTful services, Middleware Pipeline for request processing, and Entity Framework Core for data access. The Model View Controller Architecture Pattern is fundamental to ASP.NET Core development. The model represents your data and business logic, handling all data-related operations and validation rules. The view is responsible for the user interface presentation, displaying information to users in a formatted way. The controller handles user input and application flow, acting as an intermediary between model and view. Controllers receive requests, process them using appropriate models, and return the correct view. Here's a simple controller example that creates a home model and returns it to the view for display. Web APIs in ASP.NET Core enable you to create RESTful services that can be consumed by various clients. The HTTP methods form the foundation of API operations. GET requests retrieve data from the server without modifying it. POST requests create new resources on the server. PUT requests update existing resources completely. Delete requests remove resources from the server. The API controller example shows how to set up a basic controller with the API controller attribute and root attribute. The HTTP GET attribute marks methods that respond to GET requests, returning data in JSON format. Entity Framework Core is Microsoft's object relational mapping framework that simplifies database operations. The key ORM features include code-first approach, where you define your models in code and generate the database schema automatically. LINQ queries allow you to write database queries using C# syntax instead of SQL. Migration support helps you version control your database schema changes. It's completely cross-platform and supports multiple database providers including SQL Server, MySQL, PostgreSQL, and SQLite. The DB context example demonstrates how to set up a database context with a product's DB set and configure the SQL Server connection. Authentication and authorization are two distinct but related security concepts. Authentication answers the question, who is the user? By verifying their identity through credentials like username and password. Authorization determines what can they access, by checking if the authenticated user has permission to perform specific actions or access certain resources. JWT tokens provide stateless authentication, meaning the server doesn't need to store session information. The authorization example shows how to use the authorize attribute with role-based access control, restricting the admin controller to users with the admin role. The middleware pipeline processes HTTP requests in a specific order, with each middleware component handling a particular aspect of request processing. The pipeline order is crucial for proper application behavior. First, authentication middleware verifies user identity. Second, authorization middleware checks user permissions. Third, routing middleware determines which controller and action should handle the request. Finally, the controller action executes the business logic. The startup configuration example shows how to configure these middleware components in the correct sequence using the configure method in the startup class. Dependency injection is a built-in feature in ASP.NET Core that promotes loose coupling and testable code. Service lifetimes determine how long service instances live in the application. Singleton creates one instance for the entire application lifetime, making it suitable for stateless services like loggers. Scoped creates one instance per HTTP request, perfect for database contexts that should be shared within a request but not across requests. Transient creates a new instance every time the service is requested, ideal for lightweight, stateless services. The service registration example shows how to configure different services with their appropriate lifetimes. ASP.NET Core's cross-platform nature allows deployment on Windows, Linux, macOS, and various cloud platforms. This flexibility gives developers and organizations freedom to choose their preferred hosting environment. Deployment options include Docker containers for consistent environments across different platforms, Azure App Service for managed cloud hosting, self-contained deployment that includes the .NET runtime, and traditional web servers like IIS on Windows or Kestrel as a cross-platform server. This versatility makes ASP.NET Core suitable for diverse infrastructure requirements. To succeed in ASP.NET Core interviews, focus on both technical preparation and key concept understanding. For technical preparation, practice implementing MVC and Web API patterns through hands-on coding exercises. Understand Entity Framework Core relationships, migrations, and query optimization. Know the Middleware Pipeline order and how each component contributes to request processing. Key focus areas include distinguishing between authentication and authorization with real-world examples, master dependency injection lifetimes, and when to use each one. Understand cross-platform deployment scenarios and their benefits. Remember, practical experience combined with solid theoretical knowledge will set you apart in interviews. Good luck with your interview preparation.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit CodeLucky.com for more such useful content.